What's going on, guys? It's Heath, and in this week's edit of the week, we're going to be working with this image of Krabi, Thailand I just took about a month ago on my last trip, and we're going to be transforming it into this plain, dull image into this soft, warm sunset image with the long-tail boats in the background. So let's get editing. And you see we got this nice, lovely sunset where you can actually see the sun. You have two long-tail boats parked out in the ocean. And we have this leading line of this water going from left to right. It did have a little fire here in the background, so it did give a little bit of a haze going on. You can see a little bit of people out here also. And we're just going to go ahead and try and enhance all this and make it this more rich, warm feeling. So first thing we're going to do is that I used one of my base presets. So we went over here, and I liked using Urban Smog. So I just went over here, clicked on it, and it took care of most everything that we're going to need to work with. So it's went ahead and adjusted the exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, everything we're going to play with here. And then we're going to go ahead and just take away the sharpening, get rid of that. We're going to get rid of the noise reduction because it was shot at ISO 125. And we're going to hit remove chromatic aberrations. So this image is really complete. It's almost done. You can see how it's brought out most of that glow and it's added a little bit more contrast to it. It looks really nice. That's what these presets are there for, is that it gives you a great starting place to start working with the image so you can edit it to make it that much better. So we're really close, and I'm just going to remove the vignette also on it. And we like it how it is. I am going to go ahead and give it a crop. So before we go to crop tool, is that we're going to go here to auto, but we're just going to hit level, and that's going to straighten out this horizon. Then we're going to go here to the crop tool, and we're going to go here, I want a 16:9 aspect. So we're going to drop it down, and we're going to just lower it down until we get this part of this image gone, because I don't want anything popping in. Plus the sky is not really doing anything. So we're going to lower it down, bring it over because I like that rock. And then we almost got the sun on the third line. So we're doing pretty good, and we're keeping the water inside the leading lines coming through the corner. So it's good. We're going to go ahead and hit done. And it's a good composition right now. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to take this image, edit in Photoshop CS6. So we're going to pop on over there and start editing. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here and create a blank layer. It has nothing in it. And then we're going to hit our brush tool, and then we're going to hit option. It's going to bring up the eyedropper. We're going to select a color here in the sun. So we're going to select a color like this. And then once there, you're just going to go ahead and brush in a little bit of the color throughout the image where you like it. And we're not going to go too crazy on it. But once it's done, you see that it hasn't really done anything good besides just painting on the image. But if you go over here and hit soft light, it creates a nice warm glow. And that's what we're trying to go for. And it looks a lot better already. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and brighten up these whites on the waves itself. So the easiest way to do that is go back to your original layer. Go here to curves. We're just going to bring it up until it's a little bit brighter. Go ahead and close that. Invert this layer. And then go back to your brush. Make it smaller. And this is where you want to go to white. Once you're on white, you can go ahead and just start painting in on your waves, and that's going to brighten up those waves to make it a little bit more white. You can also desaturate this, but I found for this image, all you had to do is just add a little bit more exposure, and then you get a little bit more white in the image. We can also brighten up a little bit of these rocks, anywhere else where you think it needs to be done. Maybe a little bit up on the boats. Maybe over here in the rock face. And then you can go ahead and click on and off, and you can see how much it improved it. It's did a pretty good job. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some selective sharpening. If you remember correctly, in Lightroom, I removed all the sharpening because I want to add the sharpening here selectively. I don't want any sharpening in the sky. I don't want any sharpening in the parts of the water I don't want. I just want it on some of the waves and some of the sand and maybe in the objects like the long-tail boats in the background. So we're going to go ahead and select our layer, go over here, we're going to go to Ether, High Pass, and on my A7R, I found that a radius of about 3 works. So we're going to go ahead and click OK, And this image looks completely horrible at this time, but if you go over here and go over to overlay and we zoom in, you can see that it's sharpened up the image dramatically. But you can see here that in the water itself, it doesn't look all that flattering. It doesn't look that nice, but on the boats it looks great. And the wave front, it looks great also. So we're just going to go back and we're going to apply this image and we're going to create a layer mask. But instead of just hitting the layer mask, hit Option, and that's going to invert it and it's going to hide that so you can't see it. So now wherever we paint with our brush, hit B for brush, make sure you're on white. Wherever you paint with your brush, you're just going to paint in sharpness. So we're going to paint in on the crashing of the water in the front. Make that nice and good. Maybe transition it nice and slowly out into the sand itself. The rock face. The rocks right here. And then we're going to zoom in a little bit. And then do a little bit on the boats itself. And that will help sharpen up all these little spots that we want to be nice and sharp. And we're just going to go like that. We're going to go zoom in and out. You can actually see how it's gotten sharper. And we're doing pretty good. It's sharpened up things where we want to sharpen. So we're going to create a nice little vignette here in Photoshop. And we're going to be able to control it exactly pinpoint. So we're going to go ahead and hit on the adjustments layer of brightness and contrast. We're going to go ahead and lower down the brightness. Once that's done, we have a nice little mask. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a select tool, do a nice little rectangle. Once that's in there, we're going to go ahead to the fill brush and the paint can, and it's white, so we're going to go ahead and go black. Hit black, and now you can see that we've got a nice little transition. But we do have a nice sharp edge here, so if you go over here, click on the mask, you can actually hit the feather tool and that will feather it off. And now you have a smoother transition. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of some of these stray branches up here. So we're going to go ahead and select everything and we're going to go Command Option Shift E, and that's going to create a layer of everything combined. We're going to go over here and we're just going to select these little branches out real quick. They should be real easy to get rid of. You can do this a couple different ways. I found that I like using this tool a little better because I can control exactly where I'm pulling it from. So that's all that. And then when you're all said and done with, we can do the before and after. And we're just going to go ahead and export this into Lightroom. If you want to, you can do a couple of dodge and burn here and there. Just a little bit up on the whites a little more where you want it. And besides that, let's say this image is done. So we went ahead and took this image that was shot in Thailand and we went ahead and edited it and enhanced the sunset and gave it that nice warm soft glow from the sun to bring out all the details in the waves and on the longtail boats. All we did was use one of the presets that I give away for free on my website as a starting point, and we just took it a little bit farther. So if you want to get these free presets, go ahead and follow in the description down below how to get them. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned until next week where we do another edit of the week. Plus, you might see a photo adventure. So thanks again, and thanks for watching.